Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Andrew Limbaugh. Before we get into today's show, I want to tell you about a new offering we have here at Book of the Day. We have now launched Book of the Day Plus, which is a new way to support our work here at NPR. When you sign up, you get access to a special feed where you can listen to our new episodes sponsor-free. Nothing is changing about our regular show, but Book of the Day Plus is another way to help us keep giving you the books coverage you love. So please do sign up. We really appreciate it. You can find out more at plus.npr.org/book of the day. All right, on to today's show. Here's how Miranda July describes the main character of her book, All Fours.
She's 45. She decides to go on a kind of vision quest road trip, driving from LA to New York, says goodbye to her husband and child, sets out and stops about 20 minutes from her house and checks into a motel and spends the 3 weeks that she's supposed to be in New York there. And when she goes home from this supposed road trip, she doesn't fit back into her life in the same way.
Sex, desire, aging, and domesticity are the things she's examining with this book. She did this interview with NPR's Brittany Luse from It's Been a Minute, and they got to talking about perimenopause and romance and biology, and Miranda July says, every love story is a hormone story. And so, what does love look like when your hormones are in transition? Find out after the break.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from the Southern Environmental Law Center, the South's largest environmental advocate and protector. SELC is dedicated to tackling the toughest environmental challenges by protecting our air, water, land, wildlife, and the people that live there. Learn more at southernenvironment.org. This message comes from NPR sponsor Homes.com. What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? These are all things parents ask when they home shop. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
We're here to talk about your new book, All Fours. And a lot of the book is reckoning with a cultural lack of imagination around women in the middle of their lives. And our society has so much imagination for what being young looks like. And you even say that youth is so heavily marketed to us to the point that some of us end up disappointed by our youths not looking the way we're told they would.
Right.
But after a woman gets married and has kids, it seems like in a cultural sense, nothing else will happen to her.
Yeah, it's kind of the end of the story, right? Like, there, you did it.
Yeah.
You're done. Good job.
Yeah.
You're done.
It's like you checked all the boxes and you're done. What kind of guidance were you hoping for middle age?
Right. As you said, like, the road ahead just seemed to drop off like a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Not only was I having trouble finding like basic medical facts about my changing body, all the aspirational imagery, and stories, they just stopped as if what was coming was just too humiliating to even talk about.
Huh.
But meanwhile, among my friends, there was this kind of feverish whisper network about our bodies and our marriages and our desires. And that was complex and exciting. The stakes felt so high, but I knew I wasn't alone. The life going forward might actually be so undescribed that it's kind of a miracle.
That's such an interesting way to think about it, like a miracle, like faith in things not seen. On the topic of keeping things the same and change, there's a quote I really, really liked where the main character is describing a way in which, she's not keen to change. And she said, like, I also don't love getting in pools, by the way. Sunday nights, packing for trips, any transition, whatever state I'm in, I just want to stay in it, if that's not too much to ask. I wonder, can you talk more about that theme of becoming new?
Right. This book takes place in a transitional time. I mean, quite literally, like perimenopause is a big, huge biological time of transition. If you think of puberty, we know that biological things are happening, but we never just think of those things. We think romance, like every song on the radio in some ways is about that time or about this certain kind of love. And I remember thinking, oh, every love story is a hormone story.
Mm.
And so what is the love story for this time of transition? What is this hormone story of perimenopause? And to know that, you don't just need to know the facts from your doctor, which would be nice. We would appreciate that. But also, what is the story? In what way are you supposed to fall in love during this time? Because it's a wild time. Some part of yourself is going to come out that has perhaps been starved before. And this moment when all your hormones are in transition, you're meant now to be sort of jumbled around enough inside that that blind spot comes forward and it's hungry.
For this book, you talk to loads of people, middle-aged women, women who have been middle-aged, and doctors and researchers about menopause. Were there any particular ideas that felt really sticky to you around how you could reimagine middle age? Like anything that anybody said to you that kind of launched you into a certain direction or certain path?
Well, it was always interesting because you're kind of worried when you like get on the phone to do an interview about perimenopause and menopause with, like, let's say a woman in her 60s or 70s. And I was just so struck by the riches I was getting. Like, I started to feel like I was sitting on this gold mine, and I just wanted everyone to know, like, this is all really weird and alive. Not to say it's easy, but then there isn't really an easy part of life, right? The thing that makes it easy is these conversations easier. And it was kind of like some monster evaporated through knowledge. And in its place was just this kind of high feeling. I remember one woman described to me some like sad things about aging. And I nervously said, how bad is it? Is it unendurable? And she said, I'm here for the body experience.
Ooh.
And part of that is loss. And so I want it all. And the way she said it was just so true. I was like, right, I'm here for the body experience also.
The body experience. Ooh, that's a good one.
And that's desire and that's lust, but that's also loss. And I realized, like, oh, the loss is mine too. Like, I get to write with that. I get to love with it in my relationships. Like, it's not like a dead, empty, embarrassing thing. It's alive too. It's power too.
Well, Miranda, I really appreciate this conversation.
Me too. Thank you.
That was NPR's Brittany Luse speaking with Miranda July about her book, All Fours. And that's it for today. Talk to you tomorrow.
Last year, over 20,000 people joined the Body Electric study to change their sedentary, screen-filled lives. And guess what?
We saw amazing effects.
Now you can try NPR's Body Electric Challenge yourself. Listen to updated and new episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Support for NPR and the following message come from IXL Online. Is your child asking questions on their homework you don't feel equipped to answer? IXL Learning uses advanced algorithms to give the right help to each kid, no matter the age or personality. One subscription gets you everything. One site for all the kids in your home, pre-K to 12th grade. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And NPR listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/NPR. This message comes from NPR sponsor Acorn TV. Acorn TV is brilliant television told brilliantly. From charmingly cozy mysteries to daringly dark dramas. Visit acorn.tv for a 30-day free trial with promo code NPR. Acorn TV. Brilliant.